Okay, special welcome to all our listeners to today's podcast. Today, I am extremely excited to be having a conversation with one of the inspirational leaders in the area of digital transformation. Talifhan is just an inspiring uh, business entrepreneur man who is so invested into digital transformation. So, Talifhan, welcome to my podcast. It's
Thank
so great
you.
to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate their platforms because this is how we get the message across in the continent. So I appreciate what you're building.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'd love you to just tell our listeners who you are and just the journey that you've walked to be where you are today.
I've been walking a journey of believing in self. I'm coming from a small town in Limpopo, part of South Africa, that I was introduced to entrepreneurship early by my mother. She was a trader. She was a basic survivalist trader. She had a spaza shop. So from there, I learned to trade. I learned to sell in different places. But I was fortunate enough to be not bad in academics. So in school, I was on the A side of, especially in mathematics. Everything else I don't remember. I think I was an average student. And then in my high school, I think I was the only one who went to university that year. But although it was very sharp people, but people couldn't balance all of them. Went to University of Pretoria. I studied statistics, majored in econometrics. So that's why I understand economics and calculus. Learned there about behavioral economics. Went to, not actually, I thought I was going to work in the bank, but the banking process was too long for me. I looked at it and I said, this is not for me. I'm rejected. I looked at retail and FMCG as my industries. I fell in love with retail and FMCG because you're working directly with products. So I worked, first job, I consulted with an international company called Damon Worldwide. I was consulting in a company called Massmart. It's Macro. Macro is one of the largest retailers in the southern region. And then I moved to Pick and Pay. I don't know if you know, Pick and Pay is also one of the largest retail distributor. And then I went to a manufacturing company called Grohe. It's also from Europe. Yeah, so as I was working, I was doing, first started as a private label analyst. Pick and Pay, I was a pricing analyst. Grohe, I was a pricing and cost analyst with advanced analytics. And then AutoZone, I was like a BA, business analyst, analyzing all the count. I was reporting to the CEO of AutoZone. And that's when I knew this is for me. 2017, I decided to start analytics advertising. The idea was to build a consumer insights company that is connecting business with consumers, but through data-driven solution. As we start building solutions, as obviously the model is driven by building technologies, data engineering and data science. But as the more we start building solution and technologies for some of the large corporations, we realize that there's a need also internally to use data-driven decision through HR, through finance, through sales and production for those who are in manufacturing, because people just produce a number of products. Now there's a need for a system that tracks how many units to produce at a given demand. So when you perform forecasting and predictive modeling, you know why you have to produce certain products for a given demand. And that's what made us a company that helps large organizations become digitally transformed.
Beautiful. What a beautiful story. But I want us to pause just to dive into your entrepreneur journey because, it's actually not easy to be able to break through in this industry and to actually go and acquire those clients that believe in what you do. Can you just sort of give us more insights in terms of you launching out? I read somewhere or I listened to one of your conversation online where you decided you're leaving and you told your wife and she was like, go for it. Just talk to us about that process. And everyone knows that starting and building a business is a difficult thing. So for the sake of those who are listening, please can you just give more insight?
I grew up in a business family, so entrepreneurship helped me kill the doubt. I don't have doubt in my mind when I'm doing something. I believe in myself 100%, and I don't wait for somebody to tell me. So I tried business, two business before analytics advertising. The first one was with the university students. What I picked up from there was so much knowledge, but I was the only one working. The other guys, they just sit there and wait for things to happen. So I moved, and then with the second business was with my cousin, and he was into music. So I invested so much in production and all these media things, but I realized the media industry is not, there's no mathematics around it. It's designed on people just want to look like they are doing it when they are not. Behind the scene, they just borrowing money. I don't want to be in that environment. And also, it's like designed on lies kind of thing. So I didn't see myself there. But at all these two companies, I learned one thing about myself. I'm a hunter, I'm a go-getter, and I'm passionate. And also, I revise my strategy constantly. So I just connected that with my knowledge, which is in analytics. And I try and think, what can I bring, which I already am aware of. And at that time, I couldn't think of anything than analytics and advertising. And then when I told probably my wife 2016 that next year I want to start this thing, I want to start doing and specializing. And it was because after she have seen me walking around doing a lot of projects with media people and what she's seen how I do business. But now she was just like, what will hurt, what will hurt to try it? 2 years after we go back, And also I was in a very top tier level because I'm reporting to the CEO at already, I'm about to approach 28. So I'm still, it's like I can always go back and touch it again. We agreed. She actually loaded me with some money also. She gave me some monies to start with. I also had some monies. And the vision was to create a platform that will help people who are like me, who are innovators and who are big picture thinkers to start living. Because in corporate, people like me, I felt like I was not myself. I'm just managing a system that I'm not allowed to upgrade it, to grow it. I'm not allowed to go beyond what is the next person understand. And also, just because I'm here with you does not mean this is all I know. I used to live in the street selling, trading. The things you are telling me, they're just 5% of me. So I feel limited. I was feeling limited. When I was studying analytics, it was very much clear to me that that's where I belong, whether I'm failing or not. That's where I exist. So as soon as I got that, I was ready to start. When I started, it was no going back. It was a one-way ticket. I had to make it. And how I made it happen, firstly, when you start, you feel like you know everything, you are smart, but in the field, it's very much open. You don't have nothing. Foundation is clear. So no handouts, no network, no connection. And you have to now start thinking, how do I solve this? As you run through the year, you realize that you're just not consistent. The income is variable. There's so much variance in it. You're making money probably quarterly or just after some time. And now you need to solve that and bridge the gap. How do you do it? What was the mistake? Some of the mistakes was the business you were getting were not consistent. Some of them were small. Some of them were not reliable, because when you're starting, you just do business with even small people who don't even believe in themselves. They don't trust what they're saying. Tell you they will pay on the 31st, they don't pay. So those are the things that I was going through 2017. And then I realized, okay, I need to shift the model. I need to go a little bit bigger, because it's like this model won't exist in this emerging guys. So I started targeting large corporation 2018. I'm targeting the biggest company, emerging to large at that time. And when I'm in those boardroom, I'm realizing that every time is like I have to prove myself for the first 30 minutes. So something is wrong. And I'm now realizing I need to solve this again. This is like mid 2018. But I'm still making something. It's like 50,000. Something is coming. It's just not consistent. It's not.
Are you already employing at that point? Are you already employing people?
2018, absolutely. I'm an employer. I've got an office in Rosebank. But I probably have like 2-3 people at the time. Then I'm realizing I need to advance this. I need to change this, because most of the challenges we have is when you go to market, you are not known. So they don't trust you. They can't give you their system. They can't give you their data. You don't know about it. So I had to solve it. I need to get known. I need to be very much visible. That's when you started seeing me on LinkedIn, started to communicate what I do. I know, I mean, this is beyond being smart, beyond whatever. And I was a very quiet person, but you need to get out of your shell. So I learned to get out of myself and start becoming a person who presents a solution to somebody else. I looked at it like, if you go to someone and say, I can help you, and you help them, they will help you get somebody else for you to help. So it was just about adding value as you get back, and that's what transcended. It just started exploding. Also, one of the things that I knew was my knowledge is limited to this, so I need to get sharp people in their industry. That's everyone we have here is an innovator. It's a smart brainer. So that's the goal. You want to get people who know how to execute, so that when you are there, you don't flop. Yeah.
Beautiful. What a beautiful story. So would you say LinkedIn then helped you to scale your business? Would that be correct?
It helped me tell my story. So also to explain what I do, because some people have their own interpretation of what technology is, what innovation is, what digital transformation. They don't understand it. So I had to introduce myself through my story and also what I do. It gave me an introduction platform, which means now when I sit in that boardroom, I don't have to keep explaining where I'm coming from and what are you already have said it somewhere. So it's just about what solution am I providing and what can I build for you. And from there, we take it from there. Some were success, some didn't go right. But as I grew, I learned from the experience, and I started bringing very, very sharper people with MBAs and all of those that I saw that was an opportunity for the business, and we started expanding naturally. So
Beautiful. Well done. Well done. Such a very inspiring story you have. Let's now dive into talking about data science. The hot talk now is that data is the new currency, and there's a lot of talk around data science. Let's start our conversation by defining what data science is in a very simplistic manner that a person on the street can understand. What is data science?
data science is nothing like it's maths basically, but maths that is computerized. So if you had to count people working in the spaza shop, you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sarah and who and who and who came in the store. 6 people came to us today. Now it's a supermarket. Mostly 1,000 people are coming in the store, and you can't count them all of them one by one. So you are probably recording them in the system through purchases. So now you're saying, okay, there's different customers who are coming, 1,000 in a day, and they're buying different things. So data science is the use of maths, computers, which is coding, and science to understand the customer behavior, or to understand any behavior that is happening within a system, whether that system is on it's on finance, it's on sales, it's on behavior of customers. That's why now when you walk in a store, they can ask you for your card or the reward card to add on the insights to understand your behavior and your patterns of what you buy. But data science can be used in any industry, can be used in freight, like in delivering logistics. You want to understand which truck is moving where, at what time, how much time do we need, how many trucks do we need at a given day for given delivery. You start tracking. Or you can use it for in law. You can build a system that tracks information. Some of the information that lawyers have is some that is repeated every time. So you can store it into, if a criminal did this and that, they will get this charge. Then if that information is stored into one system, you can now analyze how many criminals come for what, how many this and that. If this case comes for this, it's usually falling under this. So data science can be used in any industry to a point where any career can be driven with data science. So you can be a human resource person with, for example, if you are a head of human resource and you're having a lot of people in the company, but there's a high turnover. If I ask you what is causing turnover, you say, most of the time is people are just not interested. But now we've got a system that tracks why they're not coming. Some people are sick. Some people don't like the boss. Some people don't like this. Now you can track them and say, this the reason for high turnover of staff is because of maybe people are sick, it's during COVID, or they smoke too much, so they go for whatever, and then they end up leaving, or they always applying when they're on the system and stuff like that. Now you track it through data. So data science is the use of understanding information using systems in a basic simple term.
Beautiful, well explained. And in your view, where is data science headed?
Every industry will be driven by data science. It's like the science behind it. Let's think of any career. We respect that career because people in that career, they are sharp, they're smart. Now, that career will be managed by a system. So that system is storing information. That information needs somebody to analyze it. That person can be a lawyer, can be an analyst. There's going to be a point where a lawyer has to be an analyst to understand the information. So data science is expanding, is growing to every industry.
Fantastic. And how do you think organizations can use data as a business advantage?
In multiple ways. So businesses currently, I can give an example with FMCG companies. Some of them in FMCG, they're either buying stock from other countries, or they are producing it inside. So just by producing stock or managing stock coming in, you need to have science behind the stock, because you don't want to run out of cash flow by keep on ordering stock or develop or producing stock when you don't know who's buying next, because you're going to run out of cash flow. So what data science works is, you have to understand the demand of customers. So build a system that allows you to understand the customer demand and the purchasing patterns, and then help use this demand to understand how many units to produce at a given time. So you are producing a system that centralizes your business, instead of using one engineer to say, yeah, we normally produce 200 bags, we normally do this. And now you're using by a system, often forecasting in a given week, we expect so much number of units in this product. So let's invest so much and we have so much orders already pending. So you use science. Also in your marketing, it's not just about putting 5 million monthly on advertising and you say you're putting on a billboard. What are you going to do? You know who's looking at that billboard. You don't even know, but you're saying it's giving you returns. Can you quantify it? One of my job when I was a pricing analyst in Pick and Pay, I was quantifying ROI on advertising, and some of the things were TV advertising, and I couldn't tell you who's watching, so I could just estimate that on average we make so much sales, we put so much in promotion. I had a problem with that because it's not reliable figures. So I don't want to do thumb-sucking numbers. I want us to use data-driven marketing channels. So why don't we migrate to digital? Why don't we put a certain budget on traditional, but knowing that how many we are going to attract from that. So now it's like you are using data science in every department of your company to make decisions than thumb-sucking.
Excellent, excellent. So just give me an idea in terms of people being able to use data analytics, let's say in advertising or that science. What does that look like in practical terms?
In practical terms, let's give an example. You are staying in Namibia.
No, I'm in Johannesburg.
You're in Johannesburg. You've been in Pick and
Yes.
Pay. You've been in Pick and Pay.
Yes.
And you've got your smart shopper. When you buy with your smart shopper, they give you points and rewards. But the idea is to understand your behavior patterns of your basket, for example. Right? So now when I have your basket in the back end as a data science, I understand that Sarah and people who are like Sarah, they prefer certain products at a given day. And because of that trend, I am able to attract other people who are like you to start buying the same product. We call it bulk buying. When you see 3 products in one thing and there's a promotion, it's because they usually run together. It's a basket analysis of a customer. So let's say Sarah constantly comes into ShopRite. She buys bread, maize, and milk, and eggs every week. So there is another person like Sarah who comes and buy bread and milk only. But you can see sometimes once in a while they buy eggs. So how do we push that next person to start buying bread, milk, and eggs on a bulk buying promotion? Because they are similar to Sarah. There's a trend. Or how do we push a promotion targeting people like Sarah to even buy more other things? It's because we understand their trend. So in a normal science, you want to have a model that allows you to understand the behavior of a customer. And also you want to know who Sarah is, where does she stay, and what does she like, so that when you do advertising, you advertise to targeting her. Most of the time when you go to your digital platforms, some of the things that you are seeing, the adverts, they are targeted to you. That's why you are interested on them. We've seen how when you are online on digital platform, where you spend most of your time on the sites, we can track that and see, oh, she spent most of the time here. She's interested to this, interested to that. So we do keywords and all of that display ads to target people like Sarah to be interested.
Beautiful, beautiful, and well explained. Let's look at the challenges that come as a result of organizations using data as a business imperative. What challenges have you encountered, or what challenges have you observed as organizations have become more reliant on the use of data?
So most challenges is that companies are still using legacy systems that are not advanced. So because of that, the system is not designed to collect information. So they are internally still using thumb-sucking models to make decisions, right? So first thing, we need to advance their systems. We need to build solutions that help them understand what is going where. Also, there's people with a lot of information that they're carrying it on their head instead of it to be in the system. The next person won't know what to do. So the idea is to build a solution that tracks and collects information inside. Now, when you have that information, so for companies that don't have that kind of system, for example, they are suffering from risk. So if they are if they are a retail business, they are not tracking all their stock coming in and going out. They might be experiencing theft, people stealing and all of that. Internally, they might not be making wise decisions because in their mind, they think this is that product that sells. But there's another emerging product that has a potential that they might not see because there's no science behind how they make decisions. Also, because there's a lot of human to human than systems, people can do business because they know that person, not because the product can work. So now when you start to use systems and analyze the customer and the behavior of your partners and whatever, you get to make smart decisions to even bring partners in your business as a retailer, for example.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you've already spoken about how organizations are using data to target customers. I'm also very interested to sort of understand how can an organization use data to identify customers, who their target market is or who their customers are.
So there's multiple ways. The first one, you can do a consumer incentive platform that allows you to the guys are just making a little bit. So you can build a consumer incentive model that allows you to track your customer behavior when they come to buy. That is why you've got the reward card. The reward card is to give you points, but it's to also help us attract and know you as a customer. Secondly, you want to use alternative sources, which is maybe digital. You want to use maybe your external sources to go online and see what other ways can you track, either by creating content or by asking questions to say, will you be interested to this, or are you passionate about this and that and that? And then you get to understand what customers are interested in. Also, through social media, you can, if you are in our business, you can hack the data and you can analyze the sentiments of customers. What are they interested in? What conversation were they much more engaging? What can we communicate that will make our customers more interested to our brand, kind of thing? Then you get to pick up over time. You're constantly revising different ways of communicating, different ways of picking up customers, and also looking at your competitor, analyzing your competitor. How are they beating you? What is working for them? What is winning? So digitally, we can mine any data and analyze that customer's traction through web, socials. We can understand what are they using to win, and we try and adopt the similar solution. That's alternative. Other alternative, if you are in banking and you want to get credit cards out, you want to sell solutions like that, you can collaborate with Beru companies to give you alternative data of Beru, and our guys are qualifying in terms of credit, and you try and combine them with your internal data, Beru and alternative data, and create a targeted campaign to customers who are affording.
Excellent. And, very, very insightful. Let's now talk about data analytics. What
Yeah.
is data analytics?
So data analytics is a subsidiary of data science. So data science sits here as a collaboration of everything in terms of data engineering, which is cloud computing, machine learning, which is software, and migrating data. And then analytics, it's analyzing the existing data that is there to transform it to become something insightful. So data analytics, business intelligence, BA are similar works. Just depends on you're doing similar things but in different category. BA, you are more reporting on the dashboards and giving them insights on interpreting the dashboard. Data analytics, you are you are transforming ETLs. You are transforming the data from just data information, cleaning it and transporting and like transforming it to become something that makes sense, making sense of data kind of thing. And then BA is analyzing every part of insights and making sense of businesses to advise the company.
Wonderful. So then how does data analytics help companies?
Data analytics is a model that you can use to understand the data that is existing. In retail, when I was still in macro, there used to be a lot of data that was not clean. So how do you see that the data is not clean is because there's multiple stores. People capture product differently. So this liquid fruit, a person who's working in the store can record it as liquid Q, and then somebody else in another store recorded as liquid fruit. Another one said liquid what, and just miss things. But when it comes to the central data, it makes it different products. It's different products, but it's one. So you can't track how much one product is performing. So you need to clean it, which means that those different names, you need to make them one thing. You need to make them one thing, liquid fruit, and track all region, how much did liquid fruit perform in all. That is called cleaning. That's cleaning the data. So how it helps you to understand the information that is coming from different points to be able to interpret it and make decisions, basically.
Wonderful. Let's now talk about data security and data compliance. These are, big buzzwords that are on everybody's mind when it comes to working with data. What are your views on data security and data compliance?
So data security is creating security around the information that is stored. So in the early days, we used to use servers in our company, in the companies that you used to have an in-house server. But now there's cloud servers where they are protected, they have high quality protection. So this one, maybe they might not be that strong with looking at how the electricity goes on and off. You might find that can even bend them and the information is done. So there's no security in that because a lot of things you can lose it and lose the information that is valuable. So data security talks about creating a secure space for the information that is coming. And cloud computing becomes the topic. When you talk about data security, you're talking about is storing information online where you don't have to keep it on your laptop. Whether you use your laptop, you can still access the information. And in platforms where they are secured, like the AWS, the Azure, Microsoft Azure, and all those platforms. We also wish to in the future to have our own data centers, but data security comes with creating a cloud platform that is protected with cybersecurity so that nobody can hack it and still keep the information safe that nobody else can access it. Compliance means using the right methods to mine people's information. So you can have large amount of data of customers, but did the customer give you an approval to have to store their information? Did they give you an approval to communicate with them? So for what happens is most of the companies that have large amount of data, they can end up selling your information to another company. Did the customer give you the authority to share their information with a telecommunication company, or a telecommunication who gave the telecommunication company to share the numbers with the insurance company. When you find people calling you without your approval, it's because your number phones were shared. Did you agree? You find that no, that is compliance. So within that, who is approving you to sell someone's information? That's what comes with compliance. People's information must be secured, kept in secret until they approve you and give you authority. So that's compliance of information. And how long sometimes does a customer give you to keep their information and in your records? If they say, no, only keep my information for a year, you should be able to oblige to what they're saying, because if you go past that, they can sue you. You are keeping the information beyond what they have agreed, kind of thing. That's compliance. So security is about protecting the information. Compliance about using the information ethical that you are given by the customer.
So let's bring more value. And thank you so much for explaining that in a very, very clear way. Let's bring more value to small business owners. So here's a small business owner that doesn't have a lot of infrastructure, and yet they're looking to be compliant. What sort of things can they do in their business to make sure that they are compliant, that will not cost them a lot of money?
I think in the small business world is an advantage because nobody knows you. So you are still able to make mistakes and no problem, but you have to correct your mistakes as you grow. So one of the things that you can look at is adopting solutions that can help you grow. So let's say you're starting with a spaza shop and you sell beauty products. I started thinking about
A beauty product is a good one.
Beauty products
or hair products,
Let's say so you've got also hair products and beauty. So there are different variations of products that you are selling. How do you know which one is moving? Okay, I know in that this one moves, this one doesn't. But as you grow in, you won't be able to recognize which one moves and which one doesn't, because you're no longer a sole proprietor. You are now having a team of 5 to 10 people who are managing different things. So you don't know what is happening. So if you are in that space, you want to come with a solution or a system that helps you track each sales to say what is moving, what is being bought, what is not being bought, so that you can now analyze that information. Outside for customers, you need to get agreement from customers when you say load the information either on an app or whatever, put something terms and condition with an agreement that allows them to agree. Sometimes they won't read, but because they have agreed, it means you are not liable for anything. You will show that you have gave them something to read. But it's about protecting yourself by creating a platform that helps a customer use to register and you get to know them, but also you protect yourself by terms and conditions.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I know we've talked about a lot of benefits that come with the use of data in business. Why do you think it's critical and imperative for companies to invest into data analytics?
I think, like they say, data is the new petrol. So it's as easy as this. So let's say you have a product business like a beauty company, and it's supplying a lot of products in it. And you've got competitors who are doing the same, but they've got systems and they analyze the data of how many products they have on hand and how many moves. So because of that, they will make wise decisions because they will know what not to stock anymore because it does not move on their shelf. They will know what to put on the front because that's what moves. They will know when to put a discount or when to put a promotion because they know that's what attracts a certain customer. They are using analytics to make decisions. When you are making thumb-sucking decision to say, no, this is what works, this is how it has always been, you won't even hear it, you won't even feel it, you will just find yourself out of business. And you will ask yourself, what? It's because you didn't adopt to the new ways. I mean, a person who's analyzing their information can see that, hey, all these products that I have, they're no longer moving. But I think hair products, look at the emerging, the transformation of hair in the industry since 20 years ago. There was a time when it was straight line. There was a time when we became dreadlocks, and time where it became like comfortable with your hair. Then time where you comfortable with plaiting. if you don't find that, you will still be stocking products that make straight hair in times where people are no longer demanding it. It does not mean the product does not move. It's just the wrong timing. And if you don't adopt every time, you will get new players running the game. Now we have the girl boss. We have the, what is that other one? The native child. And how are they coming and opening the market where it was dominated by Dark and Lovely and them? It's because that market is open. There's no one, no, Dark and Lovely still do straight ahead, you know. So we need to analyze the trajectory of customers and what they're interested in, so we keep sharpening our way of doing business.
Wonderful and well explained. To conclude our conversation, I would like us to dive into a topic that I am so passionate about, the topic of diversity and inclusion. Do you think the industry is diverse enough? And if the answer is no, what do you think we should be doing to change this narrative?
It's not diverse enough. And what we should be doing is we need to, I think it starts from education. We need to educate people to be self-confidence, to have self-confidence and to be self-aware. A lot of people, they are afraid of technology. Some women are very smarter, like yourself, Sarah. You are a sharp person, and how you got to technology and ICT, probably it was because you were smarter. But if you were growing up in environments where they don't believe in ICT and they make you to slow down, you might not lose your interest. So there is opportunity for most women to jump in it, but we need to educate them that it's not a difficult space. It's just, technology is just a word, but technology is as simple as solving the problem through a system, the same existing system. So if you can just start putting yourself in there, the same way you raise a child, you will learn it and you will become it. So it's like we need to do more education and advise a lot of Black women that it's not foreign, it can be done, and put yourself out there. But also there is still that mindset within the industry that it's for men, or the software development is for men, and all of that. But if you continue growing in it, you can develop, because a lot of women are smarter than men in school, academically proven. So why do we not have more women in the industries? I think it's because of maybe companies don't believe in them, or themselves, they don't believe in what they're doing. But if we keep on educating them to have courage and confidence in what they're doing, things can change around. We have more women here. Our MD is a lady, she understands technology. Our CFO is a woman, she understands technology. Head of HR is a woman, understands technology. Software, that's where we still need to learn and bring more women. But in data science, we have more women and men who are running data science. So there is opportunity to work with women. It's just that in software, that's where we need to grow.
Well said, and well done for promoting the women and bringing them into these spaces. And I like what you're saying about education. I think education is key. So when it was Nelson Mandela Day, when people actually give their time to service, I remember a young lady who's a user experience in one of the companies contacted me, obviously because she found my content online. And she just wanted to find out how, as a woman, you break into this industry. But you know what was worrying about the conversation I had with her is that this is a young woman that went to UCT. This is a top university. And this is a young woman who grew up in Johannesburg in a private school.
Wow.
Okay. And this girl is saying throughout her career life, she didn't know you could actually build a career in tech as a woman. In fact, she said if she knew that there's so many opportunities in tech, she could have made different choices. Obviously, she went and studied social science. But she says if she knew, she could have actually chosen a different career path. So yes, so you can see that there's a lot of education that needs to be done. So yeah. So as a result for us, okay, sorry, go on.
within social science, you can start adopting technology to it because
Yes.
it's about behavior and psychology of people.
Yes.
Now you can start learning technology to apply it there. And you become.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the conversation that we need to be bringing to the focus. People just think that for you to work in the tech industry, you should be a computer science graduate, or you should
Yes.
have studied, STEM related
Yeah.
subjects. So for us, as a way of giving back to society, we've actually decided, from the age of 10, we start onboarding young girls, especially from disadvantaged backgrounds, where we
Wow.
teach them skills of the future and we mentor them for the whole year,
Wow.
just so that they start having that exposure and they start
Wow.
dreaming what is possible. Yeah, so we've actually partnered with the VITS Foundation um, organization for us to be able to do this for the rural girls as well. And we've designed a
Wow.
program where a child can learn how to code in their mother tongue,
What?
before they, yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, so just to break all those barriers and to start sowing that
Yes.
seed
But where
of
you can, where you
inspiration.
understand.
Yes. So we're hoping by the time they get into matric, they will have shifted their thinking so that, they are making the choices to actually enter into the STEM industry. Yeah.
Wow, that's powerful. You're doing something amazing in that because it's about educating the mind to believe that
Yeah.
I can do this, and that's what you are playing already. So big ups to that. I think that's where it starts. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. We're very, very excited. It's our,
Do
our,
you do you
give
enjoy
back.
being in the industry, ICT?
I love it. Hey, it's my passion.
It's your
It's my
life.
passion. So I told you, I'm not even, I never trained as a tech person. I'm a high school maths teacher that has
Yeah.
just learned
Uh,
on the job,
and that's how it should
Uh,
be. Because
thank you.
when you're coming from teaching, you
Yes.
understand the importance of understanding a topic and how
Yeah.
to get it done. So I
Yes.
also lectured at some point in my life, 2014 at Damelin. As I was lecturing stats and economics, I got to realize, oh, it's about understanding the context to be able to apply it. So, no big ups.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Look, it's been a great conversation. Have you got any parting shots, any advice, especially for entrepreneurs, the youth, the young that are looking up to people like yourself? And the one thing that I loved about your story, which I think you should actually be bringing more as you tell your story, is that you had failed, right? You had started two companies that really never,
It didn't
never
work.
really got off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when people see success, they don't realize that entrepreneurship is resilience and persistence. You lose some, you win some, but you have to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. You cannot just start something and then it works. You have to nurture it. You have to learn. There are things that you don't know. You have to pay tuition fees, and you have to listen to people who have been in the industry. I read a lot of books. The Les Brown, the Richard Branson, the Steve Jobs. I was on them every day. To change your mind and annihilate doubt, especially in a different level of entrepreneurship. It needs you to learn from those who have walked the road. So most people, they just feel like they will understand, they will figure it out. You'll take 5 years to understand something that you could have learned in 3 months. But that's the importance of mentorship, importance of learning from the book and reading and YouTubing kind of thing. So failing is it's actually part of the game. You have to fail to discover yourself and to also refine your product, because if you just hit it with a product that is not refined, when you get to top level, you will compete with the top level products and you won't survive. So you have to fail as much as possible before you are even recognized, so that by the time you go out, you are refined and ready. Just like how
Beautiful.
we are now. It looks like we never failed, right? It looks like you're fine. Like, what's your problem? But the things the things we went through made us so strong that you cannot have a room to make a mistake on a top level company if you are building a solution. Because if one of our system for top level company does not work, everybody in the media is going to know that that company shut down like this, and it's going to be our problem. What does that do to us? So by the time you are given opportunity, be ready. So allow yourself to fail and not give up. The advantage is on those who don't stop at all, who keep going.
Such valuable advice. Thank you so much. This conversation has been so insightful, and my word is so knowledgeable. It's so impressive. So. Absolutely impressive.
Okay. And sometimes I feel like I don't know what I'm saying, but I try to make it simple for someone to understand. But the whole point is to say, do what makes you happy and what helps other people become better. So it's about serving. In what you are doing, who are you going to? It's not about you anymore. You have a God-given talent. God has chosen you. You are a solution to what God knew will be a problem in your generation. So when you are doing this entrepreneurship, what are you trying to solve? Where are you trying to get to? Some of us are doing this from a good intention. That's why it works organically, because the whole point is to employ so many professionals, is to create a platform. And because of that, the clients, the opportunities, the money comes from the higher power that gave us the idea to be,
I echo those words. All I can say is amen and amen. It's about service. It's about serving humanity at the end of it all. That's what it's all about.
About service,
yeah. No, thank you so much, and do enjoy the rest of your day. I know that you've got a meeting coming up, but thank you for taking time to have this conversation with me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. As you can see, the guys are leaving. There's some noise in the background, but I'm still here until 8. So it's the price that I pay for what it is. So some people look at it and then just think, this guy is easy for him. I mean, he's got this client and this one, Last year I was doing 9 to 9 every day, 365 days. So let's continue proving ourselves, pushing harder. It's what it takes.
Thank you for saying that. And we need to be having those conversations. Today I've only slept 4 hours because I was working through the night. I went to bed literally at 5, and at 9 I had to be up because I had meetings and so on. So if you run your own business, that's the drill. That's the drill.
You're sacrificing so much time to be. And somebody else won't pick it up what you had sacrificed so many years and so much time to refine something. So that's what it takes. And I think people should get used to that. I think a lot of Black community people, they just think things should come to them. They have this entitlement mindset, or the government owes me. There's no money in government. Money comes from entrepreneurship. And if you are not choosing yourself to be, there won't be any money is coming in.
Beautiful and well said. Let me release you to go. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate you.
Thank you.